Sara Jenkins, the Arizona Geographic Alliance, and the lesson we're doing now is the Cherokee Trail Where They Cried. Reason why I chose this is because my father, who is from Oklahoma, is part Cherokee. This lesson is suitable for 5th grade, and it'll take you about 2 class periods. A little bit about the Cherokee people. They're found and they are still living in the southeastern part of the United States. They built European-style homes and farmsteads. They developed a written language and alphabet. You've probably heard of Sequoia. And they also wrote a constitution, but they had no equal protection under the law could prevent them from being removed from their homes on the Trail of Tears. The Indian removal policy, and this is what caused them to move. There's an illustration right there of a part of the Cherokee Trail. Basically, President Andrew Jackson began to aggressively implement a broad policy of Indian removal in the 1830s, but even Thomas Jefferson had wanted to start this earlier. This policy, combined with the discovery of gold on Cherokee land in northern Georgia in 1828, led to their removal to Indian Territory, which is now Oklahoma, on the Trail of Tears. The overview. The forced travel of the Cherokee Nation of over 1,000 miles was one of the saddest episodes in United States history. Approximately 4,000 Cherokee died as a result of their removal from their land. The route they traversed and the journey itself became known as the Trail of Tears, or, as a direct translation from the Cherokee, the Trail Where They Cried. Nuna Duaul Tsuni. The purpose is the students will listen to a reading of The Trail of Tears by Joseph Bruchac, which relates the results of European and Colonial American contact with the Cherokee Indians. The issue of why boundaries are changed will be explored. Materials you need include the book The Trail of Tears by Joseph Bruchac, who has written many, many books on Native Americans, or a similar grade-appropriate book. You'll need the worksheet that goes with the text, and it's also very handy to have a wall map of the United States. And this is a copy of the book The Trail of Tears. What's nice about this is the readability is such that if the student is not there, if he's absent for some reason, you can give this in the worksheet and they can work on it at home. The objectives. The student will be able to understand the results of contact between the American and Cherokee cultures and how borders can be changed. And then to express this, they'll be writing a friendly letter. Session 1, what you're going to do is you're going to discuss the possible results of culture contact or contact between different cultures. To make it more timely, I always have the students project what could happen if visitors from outer space made contact with Earth. And of course, they're thinking about films they've seen, such as Independence Day, E.T., A War of the Worlds, any of those, Mars Attacks, anything like that, or even Twilight Zone, To Serve Man. When you look at them, these are the 6 results that could happen if there is cultural contact. The first one is cultural pluralism. This is where the societies or the 2 groups or many groups with different cultures live side by side in peace. Second one, acculturation. The cultures change and may even join to form a larger culture. Often, the less powerful culture changes to become more like the powerful culture. Expulsion. The less powerful society is driven out by the more powerful one. Slavery. The less powerful society is conquered and its people are turned into slaves. Segregation. The people of the 2 cultures are not allowed to mix. although one people may work for the other. And finally, genocide. The people of the less powerful society are killed and their culture is wiped out. And what I do is I make Venn diagrams, and I have the students illustrate each one of those. So, using a wall map of the United States, show where the people of the Cherokee Nation once lived. And we're looking at around the Smoky Mountains, which include North Carolina, Tennessee, Georgia, parts Alabama, in that area. And then also make sure that you show them Oklahoma, which is where they're going to end up. There's many maps online on the Trail of Tears. This is the National Historic Trail. There's more than one way to go there. There are land routes and there's a water route, and you can still follow these trail markers today. Procedures. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to distribute the worksheet to each student. And basically, what you're going to find on the worksheet is a word bank. These are the words they're going to substitute, so it might be helpful to say the words so that they know they'll be coming. And then they're going to insert them in the blanks. And I've worked with many English language learners, and I was amazed at how easy it was for them to do. And then next, you're going to read the book, The Trail of Tears, to the students. As they hear answers to the worksheet questions, they should write them on the blank lines. Then you're going to discuss the answers. And some students just did it while you were reading it, and others give them a few minutes at the end, and they were able to figure out through context clues what they were. So this is the book. Again, it's by Joseph Bruca. And pardon if I didn't pronounce that right. And this is page 20. It's about midway through the book, and it talks a little bit about the Cherokees. The Cherokee Republic created a new government modeled after the United States. John Ross was chosen to be the principal chief. He vowed to protect his people's right to their land. It was not easy. In 1828, Andrew Jackson was elected President of the United States. In his first address to Congress, President Jackson said that all Indians must now be removed. During the War of 1812, when General Jackson was fighting the British, many Cherokee volunteers had fought by his side. Two of those loyal Cherokees were Sequoyah and John Ross. But Jackson didn't care that Cherokees had helped him in the past. He sponsored the Indian Removal Bill. Things quickly got worse for the Cherokees. Gold was discovered on Cherokee lands in Georgia. Georgia created anti-Indian laws. Similar laws were passed in Alabama. It was now illegal for one Cherokee to try to persuade another to stay on his own land. It was even illegal for Cherokees to dig for gold on their own land. The state of Georgia divided the Cherokee Republic into land lots. It set up a lottery to give those lots away to white men. Cherokee families came home to discover that everything they owned had been taken. These state anti-Indian laws broke agreements the United States government had made with the Cherokee. For Session 2, have the students write a summary addressing why and how the Cherokees were forced to leave their homeland. So here's the writing prompt or the raft. You are the grandparent of a Cherokee child in the 4th grade. Your grandchild has asked you to summarize how your ancestors came to live in Oklahoma from North Carolina. In several paragraphs, you are to describe why they were sent away from their land and what the journey was like. For the assessment, on the writing piece that they compose, It will be assessed using the 6-trait rubric on organization, voice, and conventions. A score of 4 or higher will be considered mastery. Reading and geography, the summary will be assessed for correctness of detail about the journey. Points can be assigned for correct details. The worksheets can be graded for correct vocabulary words in the blanks. Extensions. Students could research the history of the Cherokee after they came to Oklahoma. They could do research on the history or what the Cherokees are doing right now in Ochota, Georgia, or even Cherokee, North Carolina. Students could compare the Trail of Tears of the Cherokee to the Long March of the Navajo people. They could read the book The Journey of Jesse Stone by Joseph Bruchac, which is a chapter book from the Dear America series. And every child in Arizona should read Sing Down the Moon by Scott Odell, which talks about the long march of the Navajo people. Thank you.